Our last topic in this pre-algebra review is kind of related to what's coming up. We're going to be writing and solving 1- and 2-step equations. So the first part is that we're going to write an equation for the function described. The second part is that we're going to solve it algebraically to find the input. Here we have the output of a function is 3 less than 5 times the input. When we're talking about equations, we usually have x and y. X and y are paired like that. Which one's the output? Output is y, and input is x. So the output of a function, y, is 3 less than. You're taking 3 away from something. 5 times the input, 5x. My equation for part A is y equals 5x minus 3. You could also have 5x minus 3 equals y. They're both good. For part B, they're asking you to find the input, find the x, when the output is 17, when y is 17. So you're saying 17 equals 5x minus 3. If we take proper algebraic steps to solve this, I want to get x by itself. I want to isolate the variable. So I'll start by getting rid of the minus 3 by adding 3 to both sides. I'm going to get 20 equals 5x. And I'm going to divide by 5 to get x by itself. So I get that x is 4 for my final answer. Try this next one. For part A, the output y of a function is 5 more than negative 2 times the input. Output of a function is 5 more, we like to put the 5 plus 5 at the end, than negative 2 times the input. Hopefully you got negative 2x plus 5. And then for part B, to solve that, find the input x when the output y is 11. So 11 equals negative 2x plus 5. I want to have x by itself, so I'll get rid of the plus 5 by subtracting 5. And I get 6 equals negative 2x. I don't want times negative 2x, so I divide by negative 2. And I get negative 3 equals x. There we go. So hopefully, you got both of those answers. When it comes to word problems, there are 4 basic steps. There's define the variable, write an algebraic equation that represents the situation, solve the problem showing each step, and then write the solution in a complete sentence. What we had above were not exactly word problems because they didn't have any context. Here we have a local gym offers yoga classes for $10 per class and sells yoga mats for $19.95. A person paid a total of $139.95 to the fitness center for yoga classes and a mat. Find the number of yoga classes for which the person paid. Another thing that can help is to use the cubes problem-solving strategy, where you circle the numbers. I've got $10, I've got $19.95, I have $139.95. I'm going to underline the question, find the number of yoga classes. I'm going to box the words that are keywords. Per class, yoga mats, and total. I don't need to know that it's local. I think that's fair enough. So now I can solve by showing my work. What's the variable here? I like to say x is the number of yoga classes. So we're going to write an equation that represents the situation. The number of classes per class, $10 per class, means I'm doing 10 times the number of classes. And here we know, well, I guess I should have boxed a mat. They bought a mat, one mat. So they bought something for $19.95. for a grand total of $139.95. Total is generally by itself. Now we're going to solve showing each step. I want to isolate the variable, so I'm going to get rid of 1995. I'm going to subtract $19.95 from both sides of the equation. And I get 10 times the number of yoga classes, 10x equals 120. And then I'm going to take the final step and divide by 10. So I get 12. But 12 what? The final step is to write the solution in a complete sentence. The person paid for, that's where I go back to the underline part, 12 yoga classes.